What's up, guys? I'm going to break down the 3 simple steps my clients took in order to double their energy and lose anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds of stubborn fat in under 120 days. And if you do these 3 steps right, and you do them immediately, and you do them consistently, you too will double your energy and lose the same amount of stubborn fat, regardless of your crazy work schedule, being always stuck on the go, and maybe having limited time to be in the gym while being in the world of sports. And for some of you who are maybe new to my world or maybe don't know who I am just yet, my name is Tyler Jones, and I was a former sports sales executive for about a year in the NFL. And I remember before getting started in sports, my health was always my number one priority. I had created my own schedule. I was a former athlete. I was a personal trainer for about 3 years, already helped over 100 plus people, hit their muscle building and fat loss goals. And I was used to working out in the gym for 90 minutes, sometimes even 2 hours, and going about 5 days a week because I had the time. But, unfortunately, when I transitioned into the world of sports, all that time actually went away. I went from having my own schedule, my own hours and flexibility to now working 50, 60, sometimes even 70 plus hours a week when I started my career, which was a big culture shock for me. I was very overwhelmed, had a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety because at the same time, I was trying to fight for a promotion in the end of it all. And I really pretty much dedicated my whole life at that point to work and the grind, kind of being stuck in that all or nothing mentality. And because, I was super stressed out, had high levels of anxiety, I was getting shitty sleep, and I stopped working out completely. I unfortunately gained 30 pounds of just pure fat in the next 4 to about 5-ish months. And, I was at a super low point in my life and just lost all my confidence, lost all my energy and just didn't enjoy what I saw in the mirror and kind of felt like a shell of myself, even when I would show up to the office. And even at one point, my sales took a big plummet because they were high in the beginning. And then once all that stuff started happening, then I started to kind of hit a downward spiral. And it wasn't until I ran into Jamal Adams, I'll never forget this, on December 6th, 2019, when I was at my lowest of lows, leaving the office. And I remember running into him and asking him what is the biggest piece of advice he can give to a 22-year-old trying to make a change in this world. And he said, always focus on what you can control and not what you can't. And that stuck with me, as I walked myself to my car, and I realized that I was focusing on everything I couldn't control, but at the same time, I also didn't know how could I make my health and fitness work with my high demanding schedule that was taking up a lot of time and my energy. So I actually finally reached out for support from an old coach. We kind of put our heads together, and that is how the system that I'm going to break down with you guys today was born, because that led me to losing that same 30 pounds that I gained and helping a lot of my clients that you're about to see do the same exact thing. And that's why I'm super excited to show you guys what is 100% possible, and it's actually in your control, guys. So this is the breakdown of how to lose it. But first off, let me start off with some client wins, guys. I just want to show you again the proof of why this system works. Look at Sam here on the left. This picture is about 2.5 months difference. He's already down about 13, 14 pounds, but you can see the clear difference between the amount of stubborn fat he had to how he's looking on the right. More chiseled, more lean physique, and standing more up and proud. You see his posture is more proud of his appearance and who he is. Or even taking Devin right here on the left. Grinding in his career, always being in this all or nothing perfectionist mentality, just like I was. And I remember the days, I'm sure some of you guys remember the days out there or still in them, and didn't see it was possible. He's a former athlete himself. And then you can see the difference between the two pictures. Dude is down almost 25 pounds in the last 4, 5, 6 months. Kind of fluctuates when you're building muscle as well. So again, just another testimonial. Even Bernadette, who was a director of ticket sales at the time, leading a team, grinding 50, 60 hours a week at the minimum. And right here, 15-pound difference. And you can see how her stomach has gone down, has more tone. And again, posture is more upfront, more proud. Or even take Eli here on the right. Dude's managing a team, making a bunch of sales. And you can see within this first, I want to say it's about his six weeks since he started, from the left to the right, you can see a clear amount of stubborn fat loss in his stomach, more posture, more definition even in his arms, and man, that guy is still rolling. So again, if you want to take down these 3 steps and want to know how to lose this next 10 to 20 pounds in under 120 days, make sure to take notes, because I'm going to break down my exact system and how simple it is, guys. So first thing is first, step number 1 is about 3 workouts per week, and they could range from, however much time you have, but I always say you can always go on the minimum of 25 to 30 minutes. So, and again, you can either be full body days or push pull legs. And the biggest mistake I see with most sports sales executives out here nowadays, everyone's stuck in this all or nothing mentality, chasing perfection, having to be all in on whatever they decide to do. And typically when it comes to exercising, most of them believe they have to be in the gym like 5, 6, 7 days a week, going nonstop in order to, lose weight, shed body fat, and even build muscle. And it's kind of like, and that's far from the truth, and I'm guilty as charged. I thought the same thing. And that's why I kind of stopped working out altogether, because what's the point if I can't go my 5, 6, 7 days a week? But again, that's far from the truth. It's kind of like, again, if you go into the office every day and your goal is you have to hit like 150 calls every single day, every single week, and you're not getting good sleep, having high levels of anxiety and stress, maybe not taking care of yourself in your personal life as well with your relationships, eventually it's going to become unsustainable and you're going to burn out, right? Because who can make 150 cold calls every single day for a long period of time without experiencing burnout? So again, it's the same thing with your working out. If you're always going to just go 100 miles an hour every minute, eventually you're going to hit a wall, or something in your life is going to knock you off that track, because again, things do happen. And again, if it's not sustainable, it's not sustainable. And again, that's what most people in the world of sports do, coming from that former athlete background or just being in this grind of working in sales, that they have to do everything all in all the time. And that is just so far from the truth, guys. So again, like I said, all you need is 3 full body days or a push-pull leg split, whatever works for you and your limitations. I build everything customized to my clients and what they need and how their lifestyle is. So I couldn't show you how it kind of goes all in depth, because again, it's geared specifically towards each person. And again, if you want more information on that, feel free to reach out to me via Instagram or LinkedIn. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is 6 days of tracking nutrition per week. And that comes with having the right amount of calories and having balance in an 80-20 rule. So again, most thing I see in sports sales, people, again, coming from this all or nothing mentality, or when they were a former athlete in college, is always having the need to eat clean. That is believing that belief that that's the only way that you're going to lose stubborn fat or get in the best shape of your life, is that 24/7 you have to be eating clean. And the crazy thing is, that is, again, far from the truth, even though you might have had coaches or people tell you that in the past. Because when it comes down to it, right, we're humans. And it's kind of like, again, if you're doing something you hate over and over and over and over again, it's not going to be sustainable. If you feel like that's you're pigeonholed only into one way of success, then and it doesn't work for you and your lifestyle, you're eventually going to burn out. The same thing goes with eating. We can only eat chicken and rice for so long before we mentally burn out. And we also are preventing ourselves from missing out on good times with family, going out for food, going out with drinks with the boys or the gals, or going on that vacation and living it up. So at the end of the day, we're never going to make that trade to eat clean and then, be miserable, versus going out and having fun, which is why I say most people live on one side of the all or nothing mentality, right? It's one extreme or the other. And in reality, all you need to do is have a split I call the 80-20 rule. And how do you implement the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time you eat clean, good foods, fueling your body with the right stuff. 20% of the time, have fun, live it up, because at the end of the day, we're humans, we're not robots. So how do you do that? You implement the right amount of calories based off of your height, your weight, your activity level, your lifestyle, sleep. All those things come into account. And also where your starting point is at. Like, where are you with your weight and how much muscle mass, how much body fat you have. And again, I do this for my clients as well, but it's a long, thought out process and a lot of formulas involved. So I couldn't be able to do it on this call alone, because it would take too long. But that is, again, if you get that amount of calories that you need, then you'll be able to implement that 80-20 rule, where, again, if you have 21 meals, 17 of them go to eat clean, have fun. The other 4, have fun with whatever you want to do. And again, that's the biggest myth out there too, that if you just eat clean, you'll lose weight. At the end of the day, your body needs a certain amount of food, eating right, in order to lose body fat, and you still can gain weight even though you're eating a lot of clean food, guys. So make sure, again, 6 days of tracking your food, just knowing the amount of food your body needs in the right proportions, and then you'll be able to have fun, have flexibility, and still see results, while not, again, having burnout or putting yourself in a box. And lastly, number 3 is 1 full night of sleep. So again, 7 to 9 hours per night, and maybe incorporate having a bedtime routine. And this is the big thing, guys. No matter how much you eat right, No matter how much you work out, if you're not getting good sleep, you will not see results. And again, I see this in the world of sports where most people, the common thing is to sacrifice their sleep, stay late at the office to hit that last sale, or go above and beyond, not setting boundaries, respecting your own time. And again, this is what leaves us in the cycle of not getting good sleep, being stressed out, relying on caffeine the next day, not getting good sleep, and the cycle repeats, right? And again, eventually your body is going to break down and shut down because sleep is the number one way for the body to fully recover from its day-to-day. So again, getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night will super help you, your body recharge, again, help your muscle rebuild. You actually burn about 50 calories per hour while you're at rest. So you're actually burning, calories and body fat while you're sleeping if you're getting the sleep. And another thing too, having a bedtime routine, I always recommend to them, not my clients, not, being on their phone for all the time while they're at least an hour before bed. If you do need to be on your phone, get some blue light glasses, invest in that, get some blackout curtains as well. So that way you're in a dark room, or even have the AC cranked up high, because we naturally fall asleep better when we're in a cooler temperature than being sweaty and hot. So again, guys, those are the 3-6, I call it the 3-6-1 standard. That is what they do on a daily and weekly basis. And that all that stuff takes about less than 5 hours to do, to track their food, get sleep. Obviously sleep is longer, but again, even with the working out and the tracking, it takes less than 5 hours to do. And that even comes with meal prepping, investing in a meal prep company. And even with their workouts, some even go to the gym for only 25 to 30 minutes in and out, and seeing the results that I just showed you. And lastly, guys, just to sum this up, the key to sustainable fat loss is developing great habits, right? And that's why we have standards, because what those standards are doing, the 3-6-1, they're building great habits. And like I said, imagine if your boss said for you to hit 50 calls per day, and one day you did 20, the next day you did 50, the next day you did 30, you would develop inconsistent habits. And the same goes with nutrition and fat loss. And that is why I say getting a standard set in place, understanding how many calories you need to eat per day, and the same thing with your workouts. And again, as long as you get all those things checked off, then it doesn't matter what day you get them done during the week, as long as you get the standard done before the end. And that's why I call it standards over schedule. And just so you guys know a little bit more about my story, just so you can see it in real time, the journey will never be perfect. I've been working out for about 8 years, almost a decade now. I've been a coach for almost 8 years now, helping over hundreds of people change their life. And on the left right here, I was, this is me during sports sales. You can see I'm very puffy. Yeah, I still have slightly definition, but I was at this point 30 pounds overweight. I was around 200 pounds. Got my system implemented with the help and support of a coach, was able to drop that same 30 pounds in the next 4 months. And this was me last year in March of 2023. Going through a lot in my life, being stuck in that all or nothing mentality. This is why I say, guys, habits are very crucial, to make sure that, again, you're becoming aware of when you're in that all or nothing mentality and chasing perfection and being just constantly on the grind. Because, again, this brought me to being super stressed out, gaining a bunch of excess weight that I need to. I was about 206 on this left side. And then the person on the right is me today, as of July 6th. Down to about 171 pounds, sitting around 8 to 9% body fat. It took a little bit of time to get there, but my point is, the journey is never going to be perfect, and you're always going to have ups and downs at the times. But I was able to get back on track at all these points in my life because I had a system in place that would get me through the season of life that I was going in. So I hope this helps you guys, seeing a representation of the system in place and how it's worked for myself, but also all of my clients, and why they continue to hit their sales goals, double their energy, and just feel so much better about themselves and be happy with who they are as the person, regardless of a title, regardless of, chasing that perfection or their career, and how they actually can have both at the end of the day. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, or feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn or Instagram. And again, if you're someone who really wants to shed some stubborn fat, really get your life back on track and really crush your sales goals as well, but also have more energy and have that overall fulfillment in your personal and career life, feel free to shoot me a note as well via LinkedIn or Instagram, and we could hop on a free coaching call, talk a little bit, take a deeper dive, and see if we be a fit at the end of the day. And as always, family, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you soon.